I am Nahan, uh, and I would like to thank Maywin for inviting me to share what I know. And today's topic would be why training fail. Okay, we all know that training is very important. Yeah, training develops skill. Okay, although skill is very important, skill alone does not enable employees to succeed. They must have guidance, they must have the support, and it must be organized in such a way that there is a buy-in. Yeah. Um, so, in fact, what we know is many companies invest very heavily in various kind of training. Yet, we often see many of the trainings fail. Yeah. They are not able to achieve the desired results of the companies. We must know this fact here. It is very important that although training is important and many companies are investing heavily, especially the MNCs, large organizations, they really spend very heavily in training for the mere reason they want to be highly productive. The company must succeed and there is always employee development. However, there are many reasons why trainings very often fail. Okay, when we analyze the situation, actually there are many reasons why very often trainings fail. Yeah, let us look at some of these reasons. First one is lack of objectives, goals. Companies organize events, companies call for trainers, okay? But there is no uh, structured objective and there's no concrete vision on what is going to happen. And these objectives must not only come from the management, but it must also come from the employees as participants. They must have a purpose of attending. Companies sends people with a purpose. The purpose is to develop the skills of the employee and also to make sure the company grows. Yeah, times are all changing, technologies changes. What was good 20 years ago may not be relevant any longer. So every company must have a structured objective, the desired results, the vision. What are we going to achieve? It must be crystal clear. For example, yeah, a company organizes a series of workshops on leadership without defining what is the specific skill or competencies they want to develop. See, this is very prominent. We can see it happen, especially medium-sized companies or small companies, yeah, where they do not have a structured vision, objective to organize a program. The second one is poorly designed to the content. Okay, it's very poorly designed. The trainer's content sometimes is outdated or irrelevant. Yeah, it happens very often, especially we hire small time trainers who are not done many, who doesn't have much experiences. Yeah, as we know in the training industries, many training companies are mushrooming like nobody business. Yeah, every day there are new businesses coming up, and at the same token, there are also many training companies which fail and just disappear. Okay, If the trainings are not properly designed, they cannot sustain. Yeah. For example, yeah, using a generic training course that does not address the needs. So if I'm going to hire a trainer on time management, if the trainer is not prepared or is not ready with the new technologies, with the new methods of teaching, what is going to teach is all obsolete, may be applicable 10 years ago, but no longer. Time changes, uh, the strategies changes, the methods changes, technology changes. So, as a training provider, if the training module is poorly designed, then obviously it is one of the causes why the training fails. Okay. The third one, what I can think of is, okay, lack of practical experiences. Very often we see trainers conducting classroom style of training. Okay. So there is no hands-on training for the participants. They come in, they attend, they sit and they listen. Okay. So there is not many role plays, not many case studies, or practi- no practical approaches for the participants to enhance their learning skill. Okay. For example, yeah, sometimes we notice the trainings are all stereotype. Every time the trainers teach the program, it is like a stereotype. There is no enhancement. There is no new technologies being used. Okay? So at the end of the day, when participants who have already attended this, they are so used to the old teaching. So when they see the teaching of today, they say, "Oh my gosh, this is something I've already gone through many times." You know, so the interest would not be there. The next one, which I can think of, is ineffective training formats. Okay, those days people use the overhead projector, yeah, overhead projector to conduct trainings. They have the slides, the slides which they put on the equipment, and then it shows on the projector. But these days, high tech, we don't use that kind of equipments. Now we are all what we call using computers, laptops, and from the computer we straight shoot to the screen, and conducting a classroom based training for a new software. This is an example here. If I'm going to conduct a classroom style of teaching for a new software rollout without providing hands-on practice opportunities, what will happen? Theoretically, yes, the participants learn. Okay, but if it is a skill or technological programs, learning theory alone will carry you nowhere. You must have hands-on. You must have practical. Yeah, a classic example. I am a trainer for ebooks. Okay, when I train the participants how to the techniques of writing ebook, I just conduct a classroom style, okay, without their engagement. So they just sit down there in front of the computer, look at the slides, and they do whatever the instructor tells. Okay, yes. Uh, Technical wise, yes, they know. They know how to do it. Oh, this is how we do the book cover. This is how we do the contents. This is how we do the closing. But it is all theory, only theory. But there's no proper practice for the participants to write a complete ebook. See the difference? If you do not see the results of your the product of your learning, you will have no confidence. Okay? Still a lot of negative elements will come in, negative thinking will come in. But if there is a practical exercise, how to write a complete ebook during the course, you will see the difference. People will go back with a new perception, with a new mindset. Oh, yes, I've already written my first book. I'm going to write another book. Similarly, in any training, especially technical trainings, if you do not have a hands on practice, learning theory alone will not work. At the end of the day, what happens? The participants will not be focused in their training. Okay? It's very important, yeah, very important because knowing this will help companies to become more productive. Employees also will become more productive. Another thing is lack of management support. Sometimes we do see companies, the bosses send a staff for training. Okay, they just find a course. Okay, I need a program for time management, and during the course, participants learn the various techniques of time management, how to prioritize, what are the four quadrants, what is urgent, what is important, and the step by step guide how to have an effective time management. After learning this, they go back to the office to work. There is no support from the management. Okay, the management expects, oh yes, you have gone through the program, come back, you practice what you have learned without giving support. Because along the way, there will be many hindrances, many hiccups for the staff, not so that they won't be able to use the techniques they have learned, for which they need the support of the management in terms of resources, in terms of manpower, yeah, and so many other things which you can think of. But if the management is not supportive, definitely the training is not going to be effective. It will be a fail. Okay. So also sometimes people want to attend the trainings, but the bosses do not give time off. So you are already pulling this staff who are willing to learn, but you're not giving an opportunity for them to learn by not giving time. Okay? Insufficient follow-up is another setback. Okay. Normally, when we have a training, say either 1 day or 2 day training or even 3 day training, whatever the duration is, there should be a follow-up. The trainer comes, he teach for 3 days, then he does a pre-course and a post-course assessment. The, the bulk doesn't stop there. It should not stop there. Okay? The management should be able to bring back the trainer after 3 months or sorry, after 3 weeks or after 1 week to do a review and follow up and find out from the participants why is it they are not able to apply what they have learned in their jobs. Okay, and the participant also would be able to share one another what are the experiences they are experiencing, what are the setbacks they are experiencing. Okay, so if some of the management team are also involved in that process of follow up, it will be much better. It will really create an impact. So if there is no insufficient follow up, I am very certain very often many trainings would not be successful. Okay. Another thing is people attend training not out of their own will. They are being told or they are being ordered by the management, okay, tomorrow you go for the training. But I may have other activities, but still because the company sends me, I have to go whether I like it or not. Otherwise, I'm in a big trouble. So what I do, I will be physically attending. Yeah, physically I'm attending, but mentally I'm not there. My mind will be outside. My mind will wandering. No, what I was supposed to do, what is it I'm missing. So if they have got this kind of disturbances in their mind, I am sure they cannot focus on the training. Yeah. So employees must attend a training with their consent and they must have the desire to learn. For any training, for it to be effective, as much as the trainer is contributing, is helping, participants also should do their part. They must attend fully. There may even be incidences where the instructor tells you do not silence your handphone or put away your handphone. No? Because all these things are disturbances which will impact the quality of the training. Okay, so if employees are not focused, I'm sorry to say that it will not give the desired results for the company. Okay, okay, I like to reiterate that participants would not want to be forced here. They must attend with a desired intention, a desired results. They must know why is it they are coming. Okay, it's very important. Next one is lack of TNA, lack of training need analysis. Okay, large companies are able to invest in the HR department where before a training is initiated, they will find out the need for the training. Okay, they will look for they will look how to improve the staff uh, capabilities, how to improve the skills, how to improve the competencies. Yeah, and they must also know as much as the training they want, they must also find what are the hurdles that is stopping them from engaging the training. So you must have two ways. One is what are the benefits, why you need the training. At the same token, you must also try to understand what is stopping the employees. Yeah. So only after analyzing this, then they will come to a conclusion which particular training is required. If without a proper TNA, very often some of the staff will be attending trainings which they are not into. It may not be their field. Okay. So TNA is very important because it is a process, it is a systematic process of identifying the need for a training that will receive a positive attendance and achieve the goal and also the people's development. So TNA is very important, which many medium-sized and small companies will not be able to invest because it is not going to be cheap. Yeah. Another thing which I've noticed here, because I'm in Malaysia and I work with the government sector. In the government sector, what happens is normally the HR department will be given a allocation. At the beginning of the year, they are given the allocation to spend for training. Okay, they are given a small amount, but they have to train this number of employees. So what would be the outcome? Are you looking at quality or are you looking at quantity? Hey, most of the time, I have seen personally also, the HR department, they want to give opportunity to as many people as it wants to train, no? Because they need to have a good name, right? With the bosses. See, I've sent so many people for the trainings. You know, how do they do it? They don't go for quality, they go for quantity. I want a cheap program and I'm going to send as many people as possible. My friends, how can this work? It will never work, you know. So in the private sector is different. Of course, if it's a small company, they may, but generally in the private sector, this doesn't happen. When if it happens, this is one of the cause why trainings are not effective and why training fails. Yeah, because they are looking for quantity. When you go to look for a trainer, the trainer gives a quotation. No, then the HR will try to negotiate. Okay, with this budget, I want to train this number of people. The trainer say it won't be effective. I want a small class for it to be effective. But the HR will say, the training department will say, no, I give you this much. I want to train. Do you think that the trainer can give a quality program? Because to him, he needs a small class for it to be interactive, for it to really work. But if I'm going to have 60, 70, or 100 people in a class, impossible for the trainer to give a quality program. Okay? Because, every training there has to be interaction. If it's a small group, the trainer is already ready. He can, it can be a two-way dialogue. Okay? For any situation. But if you have got a big crowd, it's impossible. Another reason why training fails. Okay? So, why is it important to have training? Just now we were looking at why training. Why is it we need training? Why does the companies need training? It's very simple. Because to be in existence in the market, the company must be highly productive. If you are not productive, it's impossible for you to sustain the business because there are so many other competitors. And these days, people are no longer looking at quality products. Because if there are seven training providers or seven companies selling a product, everybody focus on quality, quality, quality. So which vendor shall I choose? I can choose anyone. Yeah. But if there's one particular uh, consultant who says, my training is world class. Oh, that strikes their mind. Wow, world class? I've never heard this. Oh, okay, first time hearing for a training, world class. You see, they will give preference to that consultant. So these days, quality no longer is applicable. People are going for world class. Yeah, world class is something beyond expectation. Yeah, if if they say in my training, if a quality based training provider says in my class, in my workshops, I will train people to execute their time management well. Another competitor also doing a time management will say, I will make sure the participants not only do their tasks according to what they're supposed to do, they will also help to increase bondage, increase revenue for the company. Yeah. So they will create something that as a value add. So these are the consultants which will be in high demand. But of course, their price may not be cheap. But here you're talking about quality. You're not talking about quantity. You're not talking about quality. You're talking about world class. No? So these days we are all heading towards world class things. Everything is world class standard. World class standard. No more quality. Quality is already meaningless because every Tom, Dick, Harry who is supplying their goods or services, everyone has their own quality. Yeah. So I, as a company, which one shall I choose? Everybody giving the same thing, quality programs, quality programs. Suddenly one guy come and say, "Sir, I can give you world-class program." Obviously, he will strike. Yeah. So another thing is, why is it important? Because it also improves performance. The training also aligns with the goal of the company. Structured, a concrete, a systematic approach. Okay. And of course, it is also cost effectiveness. Cost effectiveness. Yeah. If the company were to invest 200,000 in a training program, the ROI should be at least double or triple or even much more. There must be a ROI. Then it is worth investing in this kind of programs, and the company will also experience cost saving because of this investment. The staff or the employees are able to produce high quality products. Production increases. They are able to meet the expectation of the, and their sales volume goes up. So when this goes up, it is worth their investment of 200,000 in training, and now they're getting a million or a billion. You know, so training fails because of all these reasons. Of course, there may be other incidences, but these are some of the core reasons why training fails in many companies. Yeah, especially the small and the medium-sized companies, and even the large companies. If the management is not prudent, is not careful on their spending to make sure they spend on trainings that bring a bigger ROI. These are the companies that will not fail in training. Even the employees themselves very happy working in this kind of environment, because we are talking about quality, we are talking about world class, we are talking about people management. We must make sure that everybody's needs are taken care, not in terms of salaries as per se, but in terms of other benefits. Yeah, in terms of other benefits, the comfortness, the relationship, you got bosses who are able to understand, and the staff, they can communicate with everyone. So their mind is free, their mind is happy, they happily come to work. MCs will reduce. Otherwise, every Monday will be MC, or every Friday will be MC. Because they want to take it as an opportunity. They're so stressed out working in the office. They want to just get relief. So they find excuses. Every Monday is MC or every Friday is MC. So they get a longer weekend. Yeah. So companies must be very careful how to handle people, give them the right training, because training is very important. Even during the COVID times, although many companies were closed, but the large companies were still able to maintain, even though the business was not there. What they did was they invested in the training, invested heavily on training. They made sure their staff, their employees are all well, what you call, exposed to the new training, to the new technologies. So by the time at the end of COVID, when business picked up, those companies which did not invest in training dropped. They cannot sustain. Their staff either would have resigned, or they become so comfortable not working. Suddenly you ask them to work, they don't want. You know, because they are so used, they're comfortable with that the COVID zone. So they refuse to come out. But these companies who have invested, they were able to pull through. In fact, much better than before COVID, because they really invested. So training is important if choice and the right direction is taken. Yeah. So I think this is what I can share. Uh, so I hope what I've shared with you would give you some sense of understanding why training fail. It's not because of the employees as per se. It is a combination of employees and employer. Both must be there to make it work. Yeah. So with that, I would like to thank you. And if there are any questions you can ask, I will try my best to share my thoughts on this. Yes, Mr. Prem, you are a very, very loyal, very loyal to my thoughts. I will never forget you.
Yeah, I was also reflecting just now, Mr. Nahan, when you talked about COVID. I was in KL, everything was locked down. So I had this friend, she said, Prem, I'm getting some books over to Malaysia. They're coming from Indonesia. And you will have to attend a series of Zoom meetings to understand the context of what's written in the books. Is to do with combating COVID, breathing exercises, mental exercises, that kind of stuff. So the Zoom was for about a month. So I was very delighted to follow every day. It benefited me a lot. It was interesting that the book was just launched and Malaysia was one of the importers. It was a very smart move by the company because they had a large training. They had a lot of people in their business which needed to learn on how to do business online, not physically moving. So the company stayed on beautifully. And I was one of the beneficiaries of the health wise. It gave me a lot of insight. And even though it was challenging, the training method was very effective because he got us like we wanted to come in and learn, not because we have to come and learn. We were not just filling up the time. We were very anxious because it was something new. COVID was something that caught everyone by surprise, and we had to make ways to make sense of the whole thing. Health was a very important issue. And the other thing I want to ask you all, nowadays I hear a lot of people talk about Chat GPT. And I'm very amused actually because a lot of people go to ChatGPT as if it's the place you go to. You don't do any analyzing or any rational thinking, you just blindly follow. I am sometimes perturbed when people tell me, go to ChatGPT, Prem. I say, yes, but I can go there for convenience, for ease. But originally, I must have some thinking, some rationale. What's your thought about this ChatGPT uh, buzz that goes around now?
Okay, good question. Okay, it is definitely, well, in fact, the world is moving very fast. Yeah. Today we are doing this, next 1 week, 1 month, things will change. And as far as ChatGPT, I think nowadays people are all depending on ChatGPT for anything. Even if you are sick, some people they don't go and see doctor. They go to ChatGPT and ask, I'm having this, what can I do? So ChatGPT will give you randomly, you know. So in every aspect of life, ChatGPT is involved these days. And it is becoming the trend. And every countries have their own has have their own what you call ChatGPT. No, India has its own, Malaysia has its own, Singapore has its own. Every country is coming up with the ChatGPT. They call it AI. They're coming up with their own. So Nowadays, even for studies also, students they rely on AI, no? On ChatGPT. Okay, this is a question, what's the answer? ChatGPT gives you all the answer. Then, if the student is smart, they won't take the reply from ChatGPT as per se. What they will do is they will ask ChatGPT to rephrase, rephrase 5, 6 times. It'll be different. Although the content is same, but the way they write all different.
Yeah.
Finally, they take one and put them in their thesis. So even the lecturers cannot find because you have gone so many stages in the ChatGPT. Don't know where is yours. you know. So ChatGPT in a way actually it has got pros and cons. It it does not help to create our mind to be active. Yeah, it does not. It is not good for self development. Actually, we are just copy pasting others' point of views. Yeah. So to me, I personally feel you can use AI or ChatGPT for you to enhance your contents, your ideas. Yeah. First and foremost, you must have your ideas. Your ideas you put in the ChatGPT. Okay, can you rephrase? So it is your content with ChatGPT is rephrasing. Then it's okay. But you straight away put a question and ask for the answer. You should not use that answer entirely. It is not good for you. It is not good for copyright. It is not good for anything actually because you are not be able to think for yourself. So the initial content must come from the person. And then you want to enhance on that. Yes, you can ask the helpers, AI or ChatGPT. Yeah. So to me, that is what I would like to give my comments on what you raised.
Thank you very much, Nahan. That takes a real a big load off my mind.
Hmm.
I was
Good.
very much in agreement that we need to also be very rational
Yes.
because I found that some of my senior associates thought I couldn't get what they were saying. Go to
Mhm.
ChatGPT, go for this, go for that. But I found that they use this a lot because we took some courses together at the university.
Mhm.
So I followed what the professor told me to do. And I diligently followed exactly because we are supposed to give facts. We are supposed to write theses and all that. So we are supposed to write facts. They were getting theirs done by the chat GPT. So
Yes.
it was more or less the same. So the prof realized, he said, yeah, I realized you were not doing that chat GPT thing. You were sitting down and paying attention to what I was teaching and you reproduced. I wanted this from the students actually. So
Yes.
when I went for my convocation, he recognized me.
Mhm.
Yeah, Prem, I remember you. So
Mhm.
I was very happy. And I understand there is a lot of use for ChatGPT, but then that's I think very convenient too. It really relies on us. All our feedback,
Yes.
they rearrange the
Yeah.
whole AI structure.
Mhm.
Because I'm doing certain research now, which is not ready for public domain yet.
Okay.
So I can't go to ChatGPT because they will take this point.
Exactly.
Uh,
Exactly. Yeah.
so I want to keep it holistic. And then until the Senate says, okay, we approve, then I'm okay with that.
Yeah. That's
Until then,
true.
I was very, very careful. Thank you so much.
Exactly. Okay. Actually, ChatGPT, in a way, it is a lot of disadvantage in the sense for our own self-development. It makes us lazy.
Yeah,
It makes people lazy. It makes people not to be creative. You know,
yeah,
anything you have, go to ChatGPT. Go to ChatGPT. No, like as I say, even medical also go to ChatGPT. I don't need a doctor. I
yeah.
just tell my problems. ChatGPT will reply. Oh, these are your problems. You must take this medicine, so forth. You know. So you see, it's affecting many people actually.
Yes,
But what to do? That's the way the world is. We can't escape from it. We have to be part of it. Just that we should not be a victim to it. Lah. Yeah? Do not be a victim to it. Because the way I look at it, the whole world is now going to ChatGPT now. Everybody is becoming more and more lazier now. Because there's no such thing I don't know. Whatever people ask, oh, no, I can get the reply. Straight away they'll go into ChatGPT and get the reply. You know. So and ChatGPT, the answers all are standard. They just give does not mean they are perfect, They can also go wrong. ChatGPT also goes wrong. There are
Yeah,
many incidences I've seen,
yeah,
they also make mistakes. So be careful when we use ChatGPT, must be really, really know what you're doing.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much, Prem. I love your attendance. Yeah.
Thank you.
So by the way, you are 80 plus, right?
I'm 68 this year.
Oh, sorry. That means I've taken you okay, you're 68. Oh, okay, still young. You're still young.
Yes, yes,
You're still very young. Okay, good, good. So you're my younger brother. Okay.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay, good. Nice to have you.
Yeah.
I hope uh, more people will attend next time.
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Shabana.
Yeah. Rajvin, you want to share?
Oh, Rajvin is there. Sorry, Rajvin, I didn't see you.
Yeah.
So focusing on print that I didn't see you. Yes. How are you, Rajvin? I heard you are sick,
Well,
yeah? You better take care of yourself.
that's what happens when you work too hard. Yeah, I think my fuel has gotten over, so I need some energy boosters. Like, yeah. Very well presented, and I feel that one thing I feel that why training fails is like competence. Often we got copycats,
Yeah,
copycats in the copycats in the industry. Why do we have copycats? Because we can't change people. Let people be people, but we can't change people.
yeah,
We need to we need to have we need to have system. We need to have grace. We need to have prosperity. That's what that's what I'm very thankful for this platform and my Rajun and Warren. Warren taught me. And also thanks to you, Nahan. You have created a system in my life that you can express yourself through trainings. You can express yourself through uh, talk shows. You can express yourself through uh, through writing. And you can express yourself through journaling. And thank you, Dr. Shavana, for guiding us every Thursday. I will come with full on fuel next Thursday.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Nahan. And thank you, everyone, for joining. And it was really very insightful. So thank you. And we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Okay,
Thank you.
sure. We will try.